microbiological action of fumaric acid is now recognized, in fact, by the OIV, and it is possible to, we know that we have modification of must and wine generally, and so microbiological stability is a very important issue. And so the addition of fumaric acid to wine has been recognized in 2021 by OIV, especially to inhibit malolactic fermentation. And you can see here the different elements concerning this new resolution of the OIV. In fact, the microbiological action of fumaric acid is indicating that there is three objectives: to control the growth and activity of the lactic acid bacteria that is responsible of the malolactic fermentation of wine, then the idea to reduce the dose of sulfur dioxide, and three, to preserve the malic acidity. In the prescription, it was indicated also that the dose should be between 300 until 600 milligrams by liter to control malolactic fermentation, even in the presence of high quantity of inoculum and during tumultuous fermentation. Fumaric acid must comply, of course, with the prescription of the International Enological Codex. And so organic acid, such as fumarates, are commonly used as antimicrobial in foods. And there is classical mechanism of intracellular dissociation and release of proton. In fact, in the microbiological action of fumaric acid, we can say that there is additional mechanisms which are not so well defined, but fumarate, based on its low dissociation constant, is expected to have, in fact, a low antimicrobial activity, which is not the case, suggesting additional antimicrobial effect. Especially intracellular GAD system or other acid resistance system, with the GAD systems that convert, in fact, glutamate to gamma amino butyric acid, the GABA, with the removal of a proton, resulting, in fact, in an increase in the intracellular pH. You can see here the excellent work that permit to obtain this resolution, and more particularly the work of Professor Antonio Morata in food additive and contaminants. And so you can see that he was looking, in fact, the malic acid concentration and the viable cell of Enococcus eni during malolactic fermentation of wine in a control, or in case treated with different fumaric acid concentration. We can see also the lactic acid concentration or the potassium metabisulfite concentration effect. And so, in fact, you can see that the fumaric acid at 300 milligrams by liter permit to maintain the malic or lactic acid and lactic acid at the same level. So malic acid was at a good level, in fact. The second point is that if you need to have the lower concentration of 300 milligrams by liter, you can see, in fact, that the effect is not exactly the same, and there is some difference and evolution, in fact, in the malic acid in comparison with the correct concentration between 300 and 600 milligrams by liter. So the use of fumaric acid to control pH and inhibit malolactic fermentation in wine is possible. And so the point is that the viable cell of Enococcus eni or malic acid concentration during malolactic fermentation, in absence or presence, for example, here of 600 milligrams by liter of fumaric acid that was added at time 0, or at the time indicated, in fact, by the different arrow, shows that there is a very good effect, in fact, especially for the different matrix used. And so, for example, the wine was inoculated here with 4 times
10 to the power of 5 colony forming unit by milliliter, or 7.7 times 10 to the power of 7 colony forming unit by milliliter. And you can see that the effect is very good. And even with 10 to the power of 8 colony forming unit by milliliter, and so the malolactic fermentation can be stopped in the 48 hours. In fact, it's what was found here. So that's very important, and so it's what is used actually now as a new property in the wineries. So if we do comparison between tartaric acid and fumaric acid characteristic,